Hey YouTube, coming at you with Surf Jellicent in the Great League because I really want to test it out because I know it's going to be a beast in the Ultra League because it picks up so many matchups in the 0-1 shield in the Ultra League. But I want to test it in the Great League, and I know the problem with it in the Great League is that there's still like everything that beats it is meta, right? So Lantern beats it, Noctowl beats it, Trevenant beats it, Sableye beats it. So it's one of those things where it's like you're still losing to a lot of the meta, and that's why I paired it with Grimer and Steelix as both like sort of fun Pokemon to use, but also Pokemon that can deal with all those the main core that I just mentioned there. But you know what? It was actually, if it's one of those things that I realized, like if you can align it on not those core Pokemon, it is a very strong Pokemon to use. And that Surf, I think it's going to be in the second battle here, where someone was running a Bastiodon, Galarian, Stunfisk backline, which is a very common backline to use, like ABB style team. And I got a Surf. I was like already loaded coming in, and the Surf got on the Stunfisk. It did like almost 50%, right? So that was huge damage. And it is an amazing answer to Metachamp, right? So we have a Metachamp coming in here. They shield, which is, I don't know why they're going to shield that, but oh, I guess it could have been Crunch would have been neutral anyways, but they shield that. Even hitting him with Psychic, it does do like 50%, but Shadow Ball should take out here. Plus that'll have some energy coming out for the, and this is a perfect example. Bubble Beam would not have taken out here, and they would for sure would have gotten another move off here. But Surf does take it out. Now Lapras comes in, and again, this game's already over, but the Surf is such a huge improvement over Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam bait is one of those things, I call it a Sims hero, and you see it a lot with Pokemon with bait moves. So like Scrafty with Power Punch, anything with like a Power Punch or like like an Ice Punch on Metachamp to a certain extent. Anything with these like low energy moves that can bait and then you land the nuke. And Bubble Beam was a very Sims hero where you're like, oh, I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball. My opponent shields the Bubble Beam, and then you land the Shadow Ball with their Tech Lord, right? Surf just like increases the consistency. Like, okay, you know they're running Surf now, but Surf hurts. I think it's like a very, very like strong water move for what it is. So it's a great upgrade for Jellicent. And I think this is probably where I get them in the back line here. Is this so? Okay, so Glizzcore. Maybe it's another one. So Glizzcore comes in. I'm going to chip it here. And then I'm going to have to come Jellicent, probably. I mean, because Jellicent with Surf will do super effective. And those Dragon Tails are adding up. Like, see, this is kind of fun to use. Oh, and there's an Noctowl, which is fine. And I threw here because I was like, you know what? Maybe it's another battle. I have it coming. I'm like, you know what? I just want to see how much Surf does. And it does like a third. And I'm like, that is not insignificant. So that's pretty good. Again, this team has Lantern, Noctowl. I've seen this core like 15 times already in like the 7 sets that I've done in Great League now, or 6 sets I've done in Great League. Like it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I actually have an anti-Lantern Noctowl team coming because I built it specifically to deal with this core because I'm sick of this core. So that is coming up. But I got some good chip damage off there. This is not going to take me out because it's just a Night Slash. And I can now get out of here. I guess if I want Night Slash, the thing with Jellicent is it's not that it's super bulky, but it could take some moves like non-stab Night Slash here. It's going to take a couple take me out. Actually, this won't even take me out. Quite honestly, I don't think so. Yeah, so I take 2 non-stab Night Slashes. I have 2 Surfs coming back to back here. So this will take it out, or grab a shield, and then I'll take it out right away after. So it takes it out. Back-to-back Surf. This will take the Noctowl out unless it shields, and then I'll have the Crunch to take out the Noctowl. So again, it's just that again, a Bubble Beam there. I mean, you probably may want to run Ice Beam, but this is a lower energy move for that, and it still does like a lot of damage. So huge upgrade. Definitely worth building in the Ultra League 100%. I personally think this is worth building in the Great League as well. I'm going to have a video coming out Sunday, I think, about the top Pokemon to build for Great League. And I don't know if I put Jellicent on. It depends what you want to do, right? Honestly, I think if you just want to go the meta that you have, like I'm debating how I want to do it, because I also want to do like Pokemon that you can use later in the season, these other cups. But like, if you just want to grind ELO in, Great League, truly the Lantern, Noctowl, Medicham, or Sableye, or whatever core is, like, you're gonna win. Like, it's just the way it is. So definitely one worth investing in. Yeah, but Jellicent I think is definitely on like my tier 2 to 3. Sorry if you hear a lot of banging in the upstairs right now. Kids are running around like crazy. So yeah, I think like it's probably like a tier 2, maybe tier 3. The thing is, like, it still has a lot of great matchups, right? It can beat Medicham. It can beat like all your like defense Deoxys. It can now I'm gonna just check the, let me just actually check the sims right now on not Registeel, because you're definitely gonna lose to Registeel, but Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk is a, where are you, Galarian Stunfisk? Where are you? So Bastion is a loss, just because like it can just, you get outballed. There's nothing you can do there. Wins against obviously like Swampert, Walrein, Galarian Stunfisk, 662. And that is 100% just going straight Surf. Because it is a stab move. You get 3 Surfs off, they bait a Rock Slide and land an Earthquake, and you're still with 51 HP. Right? So really good pickup there on Galarian Stunfisk. And then a lot of these other matchups, you're just, again, Defense Deoxys, Metachamps are just dominant, but they've always been dominant. So that's a nice pickup there, I think. But yeah, even some of these like other losses that were like really hard losses before, in your like Scrafty, where you could only throw like non-stab Ice Beam, is a 470, and that's probably like baiting a Power Punch. Yeah, Obstacles are still like pretty hard losses. 362, Sableye, well, Sableye's not any different. So 362 for your Obstacle, so still a hard loss there. I guess the Altaria is now more of a loss, because I guess you could have threatened Ice Beam before, so that's a little tougher now. But yeah, you're still like weak to Dark, so there's nothing you can do there. And then Lantern, 190. Oof, you're just getting lit up by Lantern. And Noctowl's 338, and that's the problem, right? That's the problem with this Pokemon. Lantern at 190, which means you get dominated there. Registeel 280 means you get dominated there. Noctowl at 338 means you lose pretty bad there. Sableye 342, Trevenant 343, Altaria 367 now, right? Those are pretty substantial, not substantial, no, pretty bad losses. And it's one of those things where it's like, that is the meta of the Great League right now. So it makes this Pokemon a little trickier to run, but I still think it has play. For sure it has play. Like with the Swamperts, with the Metachamps, with the Defense Deoxys, with the Galarian Stunfisk. It's still going to chip a lot of these other Pokemon, right? So that's where it still has a lot of play. So I think that it is worth an investment. Again, it's probably more of like a second or third tier investment, but definitely one worth. And you can see like it takes like 3 surfs. The problem is the Hex. What I'm wondering is, the problem is, so Bubble is a lot slower on the, I think Hex is the better move to run, because Hex will give you the, let me just run a matrix with the Great League meta against both Hex and Bubble, because I think that's important. So if you run Bubble, I think you're going to lose the other matchups probably by less. Okay, so interesting. So you actually have the same record 19 and 22, but your average rating goes down substantially. So you end up losing the Azumarill matchup now instead of winning it. Bastiodon still says a win on here, so I'm guessing if you like shield, and Bastiodon's a win both scenarios, so I don't know why it's that. So now you lose like Cofagrigus. You still beat Defense Deoxys, but it's like much worse. You flip the so that's interesting. You flip Dunsparce, but then you lose the Frostlass matchup. You flip the Obstagoon matchup, so going Bubble Surf, you now beat Obstagoon, right? Which is huge pickup, and Scrafty, right? So what you could do, and then you pick up Talonflame, but who cares? You now lose to Toxapex, which is pathetic because Toxapex cannot throw anything except resisted moves at you. And then your Walreign's less too, so lower average. So I think if you're going to use this Pokemon, just looking at that matrix, you use it one of two ways. Hex in 99% of the scenarios. The only scenario that I would use Bubble and Surf, unless it's like so two scenarios I'd use Bubble. One, if it's like a meta, like a limited meta, where the Bubble's the meta moveset. If it's like a water, fire, rock type thing where Bubble is the better moveset to use Bubble. Where I think you can be sneaky with this if you want to try something is running like an ABB style team with Bubble, Jellicent to try and draw out an Obstagoon or an Scrafty. The only problem is there's other Pokemon that will just dominate it anyways, right? Because if you use that and you pull out a Lantern or Trevenant, you're instead of just losing super hard, you're going to lose super hard, right? So that it doesn't fully work like that. So you'd have to kind of use it in a meta where you know there's a lot of like darks or normal typings where Bubble would be better to like try and sneak them, try and pull them out and like surprise them with the Bubble Surf combo, because then you can flip those matchups. Anyways, that is it. Again, still think it has play, but tough in the current meta of Great League. So I've got like 3 videos set up. I have to shoot all of them, but you're gonna have another Ultra League team coming up Saturday. Sunday, I'm gonna try and figure out which top Pokemon you should start building up, like different tiers of Pokemon to build up. And then Monday, like I said, I saw Lantern Noctowl like 10 to 15 times already, because it is a very tough court to go ends. So I put like 2 to 3 different sort of teams together to try and deal with it. So I'm going to showcase that on Monday, and then I'll figure out what else I want to showcase Tuesday before the league switches over on Wednesday again. So that is it. Appreciate watching. Appreciate the thumbs up. And that is it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.